Welcome to Scrolling to Death, a podcast for parents worried about social media, screens, and all the things. I am Nikki, and today I'm really, really excited to be joined by Jenny Mollen. Hi, Jenny. How are you today?
Hi. Is it bad that as I'm doing this Scrolling to Death podcast, my kids are attached to screens somewhere?
No, we're all doing the best that we can. And my kids would probably be too, but my mother-in-law came in from Chicago. So I was like, can you please go to the park, even though it's 40 degrees? I was like,
oh, I know. My son's like, can I go outside and play soccer? And the right answer is probably yes, but I don't want to go outside because it's too cold. So I'm like, can you play it virtually?
We're all just doing the best we can, right? Okay, so in case listeners don't know, and you probably do, so Jenny is a writer, an actor, Instagram personality, New York Times bestselling author. I've been a huge fan for years. I used to follow you on Instagram years ago. I actually deleted Instagram in 2020 and was off for 3 years. So
whoa,
I feel like I was in the early dictator lunches time frame, and then I didn't know what was going on with you for years because I wasn't on Instagram.
Oh my God.
I got back on for this podcast and was excited to catch up on what you're doing. I love Jenny's book, Live Fast, Die Hot. I know you have, this is old. Do you have a new version of this out?
I have a novel that came out last summer, and the cookbook came out in the fall. Yeah. So no, I don't have a new memoir. I have the Substack that's probably going to become another memoir.
Yeah, everyone's using Substack, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I need to get over there.
I love it because of the instant gratification of being able to write something and have people read it right away, which is I used to use Jason for that. And now I'm like, wait a minute, I could just send this out to people that would, I don't have to wait a year. When you're writing a book, it's you're waiting for the, all the other stuff that goes into it.
I can imagine.
Yeah. It's ugh, guys, these stories are old.
They're old, but so good.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So today we're here to talk about posting kids online. So I reached out to you because I noticed that on Instagram, you cover your kids' faces online, and there's a wide spectrum of approaches to sharing our kids online. And so some parents just share them with no restrictions on public profiles. Some parents don't share at all, no traces of their kids anywhere online. And some, like you and your husband, have chosen to show glimpses of your kids, but to hide their faces. So can you share why you decided to take this approach?
Well, for me, I think I always say it's I grew up I'm a child of the 80s. I watched all the after school specials, where kids are basically abducted, raped, murdered, killed, lured into windowless vans.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of anxiety in general. I also have a mom that was basically my kid. So she was always out partying and I was always left alone. Very latchkey vibes.
Yeah.
And as a little blonde girl growing up in the 80s with a single mom, you just never feel safe. You feel like everyone's out to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of that trauma I've just projected onto my own kids. And, because we're kind of in a somewhat of a public, I don't know, we've chosen public careers.
Yeah.
And I also live in a city where I'm walking on the street. I'm in it with people. I'm not in a car. I'm not in LA where I live in behind a gate.
Yeah.
And I drive to the supermarket and drive home. It's I'm out there and so are my kids. So for me, the idea of showing them scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Also because I think they're so beautiful, and Jason gets so mad at me. He's stop telling them how hot they are. But I literally am God, I just can't let anybody see you. I have to keep you protected and safe.
Oh, that's funny. A lot of people would be like, my kids are so beautiful. I need to share them and let everyone know how beautiful.
I know. I have so many girlfriends who are I'm getting her into commercials. And I'm are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
It's that, what's that Bonnie Raitt song, Don't Advertise Your Man?
Oh God. And it's
yeah. That whole why would I hype this person?
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to be looking at you.
Right. And that's their decision. And we grew up in the 80s, not having people look at us. There was not the option.
Yeah.
Besides going out and walking around. But online, there's so many more risks. And I think your deep-seated feelings about this are right. There just are bad people online that are going to.
I feel everyone, I don't even trust my own parents. I'm when Sid was little, I wouldn't even leave him alone with my dad. My dad who raised me, who's never the most sweetest, a doctor, totally chill.
Yeah.
And I literally was that just paranoid.
Yeah.
Paranoid. It was only me, Jason, and Jason's sister. Like,
yeah.
They've never done sleepovers. I don't.
Oh, no.
And I won't let, I can't.
Sleepovers scare the shit out of me.
Right?
Yeah. I think sleepovers are done. Like, I don't know.
Done, dude. Done. I don't care how well how friendly I am with the mom. I don't know who's going to be at that house. The other kids. I don't know. It's just all weird.
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
And I feel like so many of us get like peer pressured into it. Like, well, he really wants to. It's like, no, trust your gut.
Yeah. So many people, though, are sharing their kids.
No.
You have the element of the public eye. You have a brand, right? As humans, even as a couple. And I notice a lot of celebrities include their children in that public brand.
Yeah.
And it makes them relatable, right?
Oh, yeah. Like I've lost tons of money, I'm sure, because like I just won't do it. I don't care. It's not worth it for me.
Yeah, but we're prioritizing the privacy and safety of your children.
Yeah.
Also, but you found a way to show glimpses of them, like that you like are a mom. They're the biggest part of your life, but that doesn't mean that they need to be fully exposed.
Yeah. And there's things that like I've done that I regret doing because it's like, it's so hard when you're a writer and like you feel like everything is copy and it's like they're saying the funniest shit. And there are things that I want to write about them. They're clearly like my favorite characters. But
yeah,
I can't bring myself to do it because I just feel like I know one day I'll regret doing it. It's going to like whether or not like, yeah, it would make a funny story right now and it hurt anybody right now, but later on I just know it will be used against me.
I know.
So I can't do it.
Well, and it could be used against them because even the photos and videos, but the information that we're sharing about our kids can be used against them to be bullied or something online later on.
Yeah.
Now or later on.
Totally.
Well, and you share the funny stuff and the shitty stuff, which I really appreciate. But most people online just share like this idealized version of their child.
Totally.
And so like imagine when they grow up and look back and they're like, I can't live up to that. Like you're only proud of the good stuff, not the like shitty stuff. Like that's not what I remember.
Right. That wasn't we weren't living the same reality.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's now my digital identity. There's like something like 70,000 pieces of information on a kid online by the time they're 18.
That's so crazy.
Like almost none was shared by them. So now they're coming online and they're like, this is my digital identity that I had nothing to do with. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
Yeah. Do you feel like at some point you may ask if they want to be shared or?
No, because they do want to be shared.
Oh, they do.
Like when I'm filming, they're like, me. And I'm sure I'm fucking up in a different way by not showing them.
Yeah.
Like they'll probably want to be actors just because I'm always so like covering their faces. But like, you know what? I just can't have it on me. I cannot want to do it.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot of discussions, I can't do it. I just can't.
You're making the safe decision. And I think that's important. And they're still young. And so there's time to change your mind if that happens. But
yeah. Well, even the cookbook, it's like, they wanted to obviously show the kids' faces. And the cookbook didn't sell well, probably because I didn't show the kids. But again, I don't care.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what? Let it all burn. I don't care. My kids have to be like, it's like choose your kids every time. I love that.
Yeah.
There's like this meme and it's like, always choose your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, when someone shares their kid, it's like, how does that benefit the kid?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And there are quotes in the book that like I included that I thought were cute and innocuous that Sid like, can you take this out? And I'm like holding like the hardbound book. I'm like,
did you have to redo it?
Fucking Barnes and Noble. What am I gonna do? Like run around the country like pulling it? I can't do anything. I was like in the printing of it. I will take it out.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. Because he might change his mind like about things as he gets older and like more embarrassed about stuff.
Dude, more embarrassed. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, the content that we share online can be misused. So you're right to think that like not to trust people because
I just can't. Yeah.
There are predators online and they flock to these social media sites where,
oh my God, I'm like dead. Like I can't, the thing that freaks me out the most that I can't get my head around is like when like my nanny will go to the park with the kids. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I saw so-and-so's kids at the park today. And I was like, oh.
You know who they are.
You know the kid. She was like, the mom wasn't there. I was like, you recognize the kid? This is so dangerous.
And how creepy. Like why we shouldn't be having relationships with other people's children that we've never met.
No, yeah. And it's not like kids that are friends with my kids. It's like, just like people's kids.
It feels wrong. And for your nanny, it's like, there's nothing wrong. You know, she's not going to do anything to this kid, but there's people that will. There's like identity fraud and stuff like that. But there's more, sadly, like child sexual abuse material, kids' photos getting stolen.
Oh, like cannot, like, I don't even, that's why I swear to God, I'll go back scrolling through things and like pull photos all the time because I'm like, I don't want that out. I don't want that out now.
Yeah.
You're constantly changing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your threshold.
You look at it. Yeah. Your threshold. Exactly.
Did you ever post their faces, or you just from when they were born, you didn't?
So when Sid was born, there were some shots, there were a couple of shots that were just like a little bit more than I would feel comfortable showing now.
Yeah.
That I went back and pulled. Again, he was like just like a zygote.
Yeah.
And then Laszlo, because I knew how much a baby's face changes, like before he becomes like a toddler, I was like,
right.
Oh, this is awesome. I can fucking like post Laszlo's face because he's just living inside my house. He's not going outside when he's like a bean.
Yeah.
By the time he's like out and about, like no one's going to recognize him. So that was kind of fun. I was like, guys, look, I can actually show my kid.
Yeah. Do you ever run into the issue of like other people, other family members or schools or even strangers sharing them online or wanting to share them online?
No. Well, no, the school, you have to sign something that says like, you don't want them photographed, which I do.
Yes, me too.
And also that plays with their like head, you know, it'll always be like, you know, they're not allowed to take my picture. Like, well, like I'm making a basketball shot or whatever it is. It is sad, but like, oh, well.
I know. Well, my son in kindergarten last year, there's 33 kids in the class and he's the only one that got pulled out of the group photo because I'm the only one that signed that form.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why aren't more people concerned?
Well, I'm always baffled. I mean, good friends of mine, I'm just like, are you nuts? And I have boys. Like, you know, I can't even imagine. Would probably be more fun if I had a girl.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. A lot of these school profiles, some are private, some are public, that goes on the website and things get pulled.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be aware. And some parents don't even like think about it. So just maybe consider signing that form.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm just like, I'm such the extreme.
But I think like prioritizing safety is not extreme. Prioritizing safety and privacy of your kid should be the baseline.
You would think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's like part of my goal here. It's like, let's make it baseline. Let's share the people that are choosing safety and privacy over exposure.
You know, now that Sid's like getting to be 10, it's interesting because there are things that he shares with me that I want to like write down, or I want to like, I don't know, I just want to talk about. Yeah. Like a talk show or, you know, whatever. Yeah. It's like there are moments where I'm like, God, like that was really hilarious or wise and I've really had to like rein myself in. It goes against like every bone in my body because I'm such an oversharer, but it's like, you got to let them tell their own story. Like his story is not really my story to tell. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's like a part of my story, but like I have to allow him to be, you know, basically like the narrator of his own story. I can't do that for him.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about photos and videos of kids, but this information piece and their stories is big too. That's all part of their identity.
God, for sure. It's like I'll write about my parents. Like I go off on them. And I love it. I'm sure he'll go off on me. Yeah. But like when it comes to the kids, it's like I have to let them tell their own tale.
Yeah. I love that. So Jenny, thank you for jumping on with me today to chat about this.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And I wanted to say too, like you do so much for other people. So you're currently advocating for the hostages who just spent the holidays in captivity. And it's really important to keep these people in the forefront of our minds and our conversations. So thank you for being a voice for them.
Yes, so true. That's another thing. As a mom, I'd be like burrowing in.
I know.
I'd be burrowing into the tunnels. It's so just like every mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for speaking out about that. And everyone just
thank you.
Tune in to Jenny's Instagram, at Jenny Mollen.
Yeah.
Okay. Jenny, thank you again. I loved this chat.
Thank you, Nikki.
Oh, let's stay connected online.
Yes, for sure. Don't disappear.
Okay. I will never.
Bye.
Bye.